Understanding Vintage Edition, an English learning guide. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our English language learning series. Today, we're going to explore the phrase, vintage edition. This phrase can be intriguing and has various uses in English. Stay tuned as we dive into its meaning and usage. Before we understand vintage edition, let's break it down. First, vintage refers to something old, classic, and of high quality. It's often used to describe wine, clothing, cars, or even books. The age and quality make something vintage special and often more valuable. Now, let's look at edition. This term generally refers to a particular form or version of something published or produced. For example, books, software, or cars can have different editions, each with unique features or updates. Combining these terms, vintage edition implies a version of a product that reflects high-quality characteristics from a past era. It's like a tribute to the quality and style of the past. You might hear this in contexts like a vintage edition car or a vintage edition book. In everyday language, vintage edition can be used to describe something old but still relevant and valued. It's a term that adds a touch of nostalgia and quality to the item being described. To give you a better idea, here are some examples. 1. I just bought a vintage edition of my favorite childhood book. 2. They released a vintage edition of the classic video game. 3. The car show featured several vintage edition models from the 1960s. And that's all about vintage edition. We hope this video has helped you understand this interesting phrase and how it's used in English. Remember, learning a language is about exploring new terms and expressions. Keep practicing, and see you in our next video.